Hello and welcome to another episode of Dapper Dialogues with Dean Cavero and Danny Manolfo, both with Erie Wilder Concierge. Today we are in the beautiful club room at the Green Boundary Club here in Aiken, South Carolina. Our special guest today is Mr. Bill Beacham, who's been a longtime member of the Green Boundary and has served in several roles here at the Green Boundary. So thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Beacham.
Well, it's my pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you for asking me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my understanding is you've been a member for a long time and served in several roles. Tell us a little bit about your membership, past history, and then we'll get into a discussion about the club room.
Okay. Well, I joined the club in 2004 when I first moved here from Massachusetts.
Nice.
And I've loved being a member here. It's a great club. You know, if you have friends who are members of the club, you should join the club because, you should be where your members. Be where your friends are.
That's right.
Be where your friends are.
It's a great meeting place. It's a great social place.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
What roles have you played here at the Green Boundary?
Well, I was chairman of lots of different committees, and while I was on the board, and then eventually I became president of the board and was president for just a little over 2 years. And
Nice.
I was very fortunate. I had a fabulous general manager, and so it made my job as a president relatively easy.
That always helps.
That
always helps.
does. Now, as far as like the motivation for this club room and because we had a kind of about getting that approved, right?
Exactly. You know, we didn't have a cocktail lounge. We must have been the only country club east of the Mississippi that
Right.
didn't have a
No bar.
cocktail lounge.
Yeah.
You know,
It was crazy.
We had a bar that was in the hallway, and everybody congregated there, and you couldn't get into
Yeah,
the
it
other
was
rooms.
literally, you had to excuse yourself to get from one room to the other just to get a drink.
So, I talked to 3 different club architects, and I said, we're thinking about building a cocktail lounge. What are we doing? Are we doing the right thing? And they said, that's why we're in business. We're either creating a club room for people like yourselves,
Right.
or we're making the club room that you have already bigger. He said, that's what we usually do.
Right.
Because it's going to be the most widely used room,
Right.
the
It's the
most
draw.
profitable room, and
Absolutely.
you definitely should build a cocktail lounge for your country
Yeah.
club.
And so this cocktail lounge in general, I feel like we really put a crowning jewel on the Green Boundary Club itself. Would you say?
I think that's right. And it turns out, it is very widely used. We've got a big crowd coming tonight. Aiken Hounds are going to be here.
Nice.
And it's full almost every night.
It is.
So the thought process behind the club room was to maybe generate number one, camaraderie with
Yes.
the members, but also to bring in some younger
Dynamic.
members, that young professional crowd.
Exactly.
Can you
Exactly.
expound on that a little bit?
Well, it's, we have typically we've had a very old membership.
Yes.
And the trend in the country is, maybe not to wear a tie every night. I always used to wear a tie when I
Right,
came to the club.
Right.
And the young members want to have a club room like this, and they don't want it to be quite so formal. And so this room is a less formal room. You don't have to be dressed up like you're going to meet the Queen.
Right.
And,
Right. That's a part that my family loves about this room in general is the fact that we wanted to use the club more than we were able to before the club room came into play. And when we were at the meetings and stuff with the hope of this being built, it was a definite yes for us because we did feel like we could bring our kids and come and, we are an active family, so we would wear shorts and, workout attire, and we felt like we could come here and eat lunch or whatever. And so that was a huge draw for us. And I know on our dynamic, our generational dynamic, that was kind of the thing that would stop people from wanting to join because they heard it was really stuffy.
Yes.
And now we don't have that stigma.
Definitely more
you know,
welcoming.
right.
Yeah.
So that's
and the patio, which is behind you there, that became part of the addition also because a lots of people like to eat. You know, the weather's halfway decent. People like to eat outside.
Right, sure.
And you go downtown and you see people eating on the sidewalk in restaurants.
Right,
You
right.
know, now you
Yeah.
can sit in this patio
And it's
have a fabulous view
fabulous
of
view.
the croquet courts.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, it's the best outside view where you can have dining
For sure.
in Aiken.
For sure. And plus, I mean, it's very, even in the evenings, we have little fire pits out there. We have some
Yes.
tetherball. We have soccer goals for the kids to play with and stuff. I mean, I know, what's the member's name that helped kind of bring those things in?
Charlie Hayes.
Charlie Hayes. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Charlie is, every time we come with our family, he is first one to greet us, and
Yeah,
he's
right.
usually sitting at the bar here, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, y'all want to play badminton? Y'all want to play soccer? Whatever. We got some cornhole boards and stuff," and the kids love it. So
Yeah.
I appreciate Charlie's contributions as
Yeah.
well.
So what do you see, prospective members? What would be the benefit of them, particularly maybe young professionals or something, about joining the Green Boundary?
Well, one of the things, the club has a lot of reciprocal arrangements with various clubs. So if you're traveling anywhere, actually all over the world, we have over 100 different clubs where we have a reciprocal agreement. So if you're a member of the Green Boundary Club and you want to stay at a nice club in Paris, or you want to stay in a nice club in Boston,
Right.
or anywhere in the country, and as I say, literally in the world, we have arrangements so that you can do that. And
Yeah.
the person here at the club, you just tell them that's where you'd like to go and the dates, and they make it happen.
They do.
That's a great point, because shortly after Dean joined, and let's just get this out of the open. If they'll let Dean join, they'll let anyone join. But one of the things that he said was he was going on a trip,
Yeah.
and he was able to call the front desk. They were able to make arrangements for him at wherever you were going. I can't
We were
remember.
going to New York, and we ended up eating dinner at the Friars Club.
That's right, because the
Friars Club.
reciprocal was there, so they arranged everything for him, which was a benefit. That was just one example. So that's a very good point.
Yeah, I remember one year I was staying at the Biltmore over Christmas,
Uh-huh.
and I said to Jacob at the time, I said, I don't want to have dinner every night at the Biltmore. What's your recommendation? And he said, let me take care of it. So the next thing I know, I'm at the Biltmore Forest Club,
Yeah.
you know,
Wow.
and
Nice.
Christmas Eve, and because these club managers, they all know each other,
Right.
and we might be not even on the reciprocal list, but the club manager can call his friend up there,
Nice.
and the next thing you know, you're in.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're not a member here, it's not going to happen.
That's right.
Membership has its privileges. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we've used it too. I mean, I've gone over to the Pinnacle Club and eaten,
Over in Augusta.
in Augusta there a couple times, and they are always welcoming, to us over here, and so I do very much. I need to use it more,
Right.
but I do very much appreciate the reciprocals.
Well, listen, we appreciate your time and your knowledge of the Green Boundary. It sounds like there's no negatives of being a member here. So we appreciate your time very much and your knowledge. So thank you very much. Appreciate
Well,
you.
thank you for asking. And
Absolutely.
you guys have a happy Thanksgiving.
You
You
too
do
as
the
well.
same.
Thank you
Coming
so
up
much.
on us.
Yes,
sir. Thank you.
absolutely. Good to see you.